continue with Yoga Vashista. Even as darkness disappears or on turning towards light, ignorance disappears if you turn towards the light of the self. That means the moment the higher mind turns the attention inward or start to inquire, means withdrawing to awareness, this is basically turn towards the light of self-awareness. That's where ignorance disappears. Ignorance does not disappear from the personality, the egoic aspect going outward. It cannot. Only when the higher mind is withdrawing, that means it's undoing the lower mind, because the lower mind doesn't let the higher mind withdraw. I'll articulate it. The egoic mind is always outward bent. So when you are in your belief that you're a separate entity, and what's active in your mind is, let's say, should and shouldn't, means arguing with what is happening. That means you're going out to the senses. You shouldn't talk this way. That means my focus of attention is out to the objects of perception, to you as an object, person. When I say this event should not have happened, that means it's out to the objects of the world. That means still it's all egoic, going out, reacting, yes? Judging, out. Because when you go inward, no judging what happened, the phenomena, because your attention is not there, right? When the attention is inward, there's no judgment of an appearance of somebody because your attention is not there. When you are resisting an event or somebody you don't like, when you're going inward, this is gone. So when people in the beginning, and that's what I can share that I experienced, I had to clean first the should and shouldn't within. Like I had to do major cleanup of should and shouldn't, because the lower mind, the egoic mind, was very habitually to argue with what was happening. It shouldn't be this, I want it to be different, I need it to be a certain way, not the way it is. The person shouldn't behave this way, why are they behaving this? I want them to be different, they shouldn't be this. I was judging people. Yeah?
So this is the lower mind you're cleaning?
Yes. Basically, I was actually undoing the tendencies. It was playing itself and I discriminate, I examined it. It was playing itself, so the beauty of it is that I became very busy. Yet very busy going in, because I was just, the undoing is the higher mind. And the ego was playing itself out. That was the tendency. So people are naive and I think confused that when they start going inward, they are expecting that the tendencies going out would not be there. It's a cosmic joke. The tendency out not going to just stop by themselves. They've already been practiced, I don't know for how long, judging, reacting, resisting. Yes? So now the undoing it is the higher mind. That's what we talk. It discriminates. It inquires, because the lower mind doesn't enable for the higher mind to dissolve into awareness. So within there was, I would share what, like how I can say in retrospective, going backward, what was happening. I didn't know it at the time. I was exposed to the knowledge. I stay around hearing and reading the knowledge over and over again, and then discrimination start to be active, and reflecting upon the knowledge was active, and inquiry begins. Concentration began. Yes? I'm just giving, I'm not talking in time frames. It doesn't really matter. Now what happens when the attention was going out? I suddenly was aware of reactivity, judging, and resisting. Yes? So now I had to undo it live. I discriminated. It shouldn't be this way. Is it true? And then I took it to different form of discrimination. I used also the work of Byron Katie because I felt that that work was very effective for projections. Was very effective. So it would be like, I shouldn't be this way. Is it true? Or, sorry, on the other, let's say, the other shouldn't behave that way. Is it true? Then I checked what happened in reality. He did. So that's not true. Then I would check, who would I be without this belief? So in the beginning I gave an answer. I would be more accepting, more this, more that, more loving, more open. Yet as I continue with the inquiry, who would I be without this thought? When that question was the last question, I remained suddenly silently aware. Yes? So that was, the attention withdrawn from the object of perception, from the feeling it generated, and from the thoughts themselves. Yes, that's just an example. It doesn't mean one has to go through this way. I just share that what I noticed when the mind was dense means projection, beliefs, and it generated emotion. I needed a tool that really would be effective because I was not interested keeping deluding myself. I had enough recognizing how deluded I was, believing myself to be a separate entity and believing the thoughts to be real. Yes? Because in order to believe the thoughts to be real, they got to be a believer. Without a believer, no one believes the thoughts to be true, isn't it? That means I was examining, the higher mind was examining the beliefs because there was still the notion that I am a believer, which means an ego, a personality, a separate entity. If that believer would be realized as non-existent, all the beliefs crumple away. Yeah? So there was enough earnestness to realize anything that works, I'm going to utilize. Anything. It's like, I don't care. What's important? It's effectiveness. Yeah? And I think that even on the external world, if I want to cut the grass, and I have a machine that doesn't cut the grass, I'm going to try to find the best machine that's going to cut the grass. And if I need to turn it all upside down, which I don't know what is the word of the machine, or cut the roots, I'm going to find the best tool to do that. One has to find the best tools that work for them, and they would know that they work due to the experience once it is being utilized, and not just by the ideas one continue to have. This is really key. So this journey for anybody would not turn to be just a conceptual understanding. It would be an experiential journey of, and as long as I believe that I'm a separate entity, it has to be experiential, means it has to undo the belief that generates emotions within me, because they are the most challenging. Is the emotions, which is it's a physical reaction in the body to a belief, and the beliefs are stored in the cellular level. So sometimes when there is identification, I already feel it strong in the body, the heartbeat or sensation or heat or it's generated in the body. And because the experience in the body is real, cannot be denied, even if mentally I will try to deny it, it doesn't really work. Means that tool does not deliver. I'm talking to you, whoever is watching, that you would realize it. So you're in the journey not going to fool yourself. You're actually going to look for the most effective tools within you to use and activate. So it will undo the tendencies truly, not just empty words. Yes.